Brittany Collins, student ID 3423302, spring semester 2020. In this video, I will be demonstrating a lateral recumbency for a lateral Saphenous venipuncture on a canine. Lateral meaning on its side and recumbency meaning laying down. I will be starting with him in a standing position. So first I need to wrap my arm around his neck, holding him up against my shoulder, and one arm underneath the belly. I will then have him sit down, taking both hands and wrapping them around his body to grab his hind legs closest to me, and rolling his body gently down mine onto the table. Good boy. Holding those bottom legs so that he cannot stand up. I am applying a gentle but firm pressure behind his mandible or head and on top of his thigh. The lateral saphenous vein runs along the top side proximal to the hock on both hind legs right here. To occlude that vein, I am going to take my hand and apply a firm pressure at the top of the thigh on both sides. That vein will pop up nicely right here, and that technician will come in and draw the blood. Once blood draw is complete, I will remove my hand from the occlude hold, slide my hand down to the venipuncture site, holding off for about 30 seconds or so. Once I am finished, I will release, and then I will help him stand up by rolling my hands underneath his body and guiding him into a standing position. In this video, I will be demonstrating a sternal recumbency for a cephalic venipuncture on a canine. Sternal meaning on the stomach and recumbency meaning laying down. I am starting with him in a standing position, so first I will want to take my arm from under his belly and get him to sit down, keeping one arm wrapped around his neck and head and holding him up against my shoulder. I will use my free hand to guide his elbows down onto the table. I will take his elbow in the palm of my hand and extending it forward, presenting that forelimb. The cephalic vein runs along the top side of both forelimbs right here. I will take my thumb, placing it on the inner portion of the leg and rolling it outwards onto the top of that leg right there so that the vein presents itself nicely for the blood draw. I will have my technician then come in and draw the blood. Once complete, I will let go from the occlude hold, sliding my hand down to the venipuncture site, holding off for about 30 seconds. Once finished, I can release my hold, and I will gently take my hand back and roll it under his body to guide him into a standing position, and he is done. In this clip, I will be demonstrating a lateral recumbency for medial saphenous venipuncture. Lateral meaning on his side and recumbency meaning laying down. The medial saphenous vein runs along the inner portion of both hind legs. I will need to get him on his side. I'm going to take my hand and wrap it around his head, make sure I secure him. I will take the tail and top back foot, bring it in. I'll have the technician or veterinarian come in to extend the bottom leg. That medial saphenous vein runs along this portion of the leg. I will take my hand and use the palm to gently hold some pressure to occlude that vein. We'll do the blood draw. When complete, I will release hold from occlude, hold off the venipuncture site for about 30 seconds before checking to make sure it's okay and releasing. Then I will carefully release my pet's head, and he is done. In this clip, I will be demonstrating a sternal recumbency cephalic venipuncture on a feline. Sternal meaning on the stomach and recumbency meaning laying down. I will start by taking his head and wrapping my hand around it with a gentle pressure. I'm going to Place my arm over his body and push him up against my body, sliding him to the edge of the table and gently extending that elbow. I'm going to hold his elbow with the palm of my hand. I will take my thumb and wrap it and roll the skin outward to occlude that vein. You will see the cephalic vein present itself nicely on top of the forelimb. I'll have my technician or veterinarian come in to draw the blood. Once the blood draw is complete, I will release my hold from occlude, slide my hand down, hold off the venipuncture site for about 30 seconds for making sure it's okay, and then releasing pressure and taking my hand off his head, and he is done.